Welcome to this year's Resource Investment Conference. It's a pleasure to be back. Avino is a junior producer with a clear path to transformational growth, which I'm going to tell you about now. I'm going to be making some forward-looking statements. So, Avino is a silver producer and explorer. We have a growth plan with three assets. The producing Avino mine produced 2.4 million ounces of silver equivalent last year. We've got a 5-year plan to go up to about 8 to 10 million ounces to make it an intermediate producer. And that's going to come from our three key assets: the Avino mine, La Preciosa, the development asset we acquired from Coeur last year, and the Oxide Tailings Project. We have a large endowment of silver equivalent, 368 million ounces, so a lot of leverage to silver. 60% of that is pure silver. These are the catalysts for growth. So it'll be from 1 to 3 producing assets. Growth and milestones and achievements. So we completed in March 2022 the acquisition of La Preciosa. That was from Coeur Mining. We took the next year and a half or so to negotiate terms with the local townspeople, the Ejitos. That was signed recently, just before year end. And so last week we started hauling ore. So we're excited about that. We're going to see some higher grade material run through our mill in Q1. Dry stack tailings completed. This is a big project. It was close to $10 million investment, and we have a state-of-the-art, safest way to store tailings by compressing all the moisture out so it can't move. Oxide Tailings Project, the resource came out about a year ago. Metallurgical test work was done, and the pre-feasibility study is just wrapping up right now, so expect to see an announcement on that in the next few weeks. La Preciosa, so in order to be able to put in a new decline there, we needed the blessing from the local ejidos. We've got that, so we've applied for a development permit from the environmental department in Mexico. We're expecting that in the next couple months so we can start. Successful exploration program last year, 7,500 meters. Excellent results you can find on our website. ESR designation. This is the second year we received this. This is an award from a Mexican panel that looks at the company and how they treat the locals and the environment, and that we're a socially responsible company. So we're thrilled to receive that award. And also what we're doing is a digital transformation, automation in the mill, and underground vehicle tracking. So this will help improve things in the operation. Recent updates: community engagement signed, as I mentioned, long-term agreement with the local ejidos. These are a coalition of the local villages where we own the mineral rights. And that's been done. Haulage started last week, as I mentioned. Pre-feasibility study on the oxide tailings, as I mentioned earlier, that's coming in the next few weeks. We're excited about that. Q4 and full year productions came out. We produced 558,000 ounces of silver equivalent last year in Q4 and 2.4 million ounces for the full year. Here's the trucks last week. You can see it's happening right now. So this is what a lot of people have been waiting for. So it's really happening. We're excited about it. Here's the proximity to the Avino property. So it's 19 kilometers directly as the crow flies. It's about a 30 to 40 minute drive one way. And so we're hauling now, paved road, door to door. We have all the necessary ingredients for expansion, dedicated power line capable of 5 megawatts, and we're only utilizing 3. Paved roads, high water supply, and 100% Mexican labor force. And the beauty of that is you're not bringing in people and paying for their transportation costs to bring them to the area. They've been there for a long time. Avino's the oldest mine in the state of Durango. It was discovered in the 1500s. So all these villages built up over that time. So that's brought all this infrastructure to us. So we're We're thrilled to be located where we are. We're in a safe jurisdiction in rolling farmland, surrounded by villages, so it's not a security threat. And we don't produce doré on site. We produce concentrate that gets trucked to the shipping port of Manzanillo, and it goes on a freighter over to Asia. And our primary partner is Samsung. They buy all our material, and it goes into their electronics. Here you can see La Preciosa. So it's been geologically de-risked, 1,500 drill holes. This was by Orco, Pan American Silver, and Coeur Mining. About $90 million has been spent de-risking it. You can see all the red is between 150 to 500 grams of silver equivalent. So this is high-grade material for us, a lot higher than what we're mining now. So we're thrilled to get in there and start mining this. Here you can see the red is everywhere above 500 grams. So when Orco and Pan American were drilling it, they had multiple intercepts of kilogram hits of silver. So we're very excited about when we get into these zones. You can see the total measured and indicated is 17.4 million metric tons, 200 gram average of silver equivalent, or 113 million ounces of silver equivalent. And then another 4.4 million inferred metric tons, or 24 million ounces. The target is Gloria on the far left. It's a vertical vein coming up, and so we're going to put the decline in. It's going to take 6 to 7 months from when we start the decline to be on level 1 and mining in ore, because it goes right to the surface. So we see by the end of this year, we're hoping to be into ore and hauling out fresh ore to our mill. And the plan is to do a spiral trackless decline ramp, put in 7 levels, and then drift over to Abundancia to the right, and then mine upwards, and then drift over to Martha. And so we, as part of our 5-year plan, is we're gonna have 3 different areas to pull ore out of one haulage tunnel. So it's a very, we're very fortunate to have these veins all being able to mine out of the same portal. Q4 and full production results. So yeah, last year, so we suffered the mine sequencing was mining in lower grade areas. So we had lower grade and lower recovery rates because of that. So we produced 558,000 ounces of silver equivalent last year compared to 770 in 2022. So you can see here the silver, gold, and copper grades were all lower, which affected the output. But we saw a turnaround in Q4. Q4, we were into higher grade. So we're excited about where we're mining now and what the future holds for Avino at the Avino mine. Here's our 5-year growth plan. So the dark blue is Avino. The lighter blue you see is La Preciosa, and the lightest is the oxide tailings, getting us up to 8 million ounces of silver equivalent in 4 to 5 years. So this is our clear path. Here's the production profile, return to primary silver. So right now we produce in 2024, 46% silver, 20% gold, and 34% copper. We're gonna be trending up higher as we get into La Preciosa and the oxide tailings project comes online. We'll get up to between 60 and 70% pure silver. Here you can see a comparison. So in the upper table is comparable to juniors. You can see that we have 168 million ounces of silver resource in the M&I category, substantially more than the median, but we're well below value of the median. And the reason is we were never re-rated once we made the acquisition of La Preciosa because people were skeptical that if we could actually mine it. So we just announced that we've got the social blessing and we started hauling ore. So we're expecting a re-rating. And as we grow over the next 5 years, then you can compare us to the table below, which are the intermediate producers. And we're well in line with the median there, and we're substantially cheaper. So a lot of room for growth. Newsletter coverage and brokerage coverage. Some of the people are here. You can ask them about Avino and what their target price is. And then trading and capitalization, 60 million US market cap, 79 million Canadian, trades on Toronto, Big Board, and NYSE American. We're around 61 cents Canadian, 46 cents US. 35 to 100,000 shares trade a day in Canada, and 250 to a million shares trade a day on New York. Major shareholders, I'm personally the largest shareholder, but management and directors make up the largest group, and there are some institutions there. 128 million shares outstanding, 138 million fully diluted. So upcoming news flow, pre-feasibility study coming out in the next few weeks. Stay tuned for that. 2024 outlook is going to be coming out, and then year-end financials. So why invest? It's a primary silver producer and explorer, huge endowment of silver, so great leverage to the metal price. We have got a clear path. We own the assets, so it's not M&A material that's going to drive our growth. It's our own current assets, and undervalued. So you got strength in our balance sheet is growing since we bought Preciosa, so that's nice to see. And there's liquidity in the stock. You can trade in and trade out anytime you want. Thank you very much, and happy investing.